So do you see my screen?
ISP.
Hmm. Do you see this AX demo? Okay. Now, so far, what we have seen, whenever we develop something, what we are doing, we are adding all our changes in one environment. So that could be like a developer environment. So in the first thing, whenever you are doing something for CRM, you will be developing that work in the dev environment, right? So in the real time, how software program or application works? I will explain first. Now, if you see, you will have the end user will be this one. Like this is the site the end user is using. Okay, like the end user application, what we will call as a production.
Uh, Harish,
Yeah,
only that system administrator is visible.
sorry, system.
Only that screen is visible. System administrator.
That's what I'm asking. Now,
Yes.
what you are
Paint.
saying, paint, right?
Yeah.
So in the real time, you will be having multiple environments. So the whatever the end user using, right, that environment we will call it as a production. Okay. So production means the the actual user, the real users will be using this environment. So that is nothing but a production. Okay. So to get any feature, to have it something here, anything. So for that, we will have a lot of steps. Directly, we can't make changes in the production, right? So you are developing one application, you are developing one change means it will come from the developer. It will go through the tester. It will user acceptance will done. So a lot of stages will be there. At the end, the end user will be using in the production environment. So before this, you will have multiple stages. So let's assume we have UAT. UAT means user acceptance test. So in this test, what will do? They will user acceptance means for every project, for every application, there will be some UAT team will be there. So what they will be doing? So they will be evaluating in with instead of user. So because user will be the actual users, right? So in this environment, UAT environment, they do the testing. So whatever the change you are doing, whatever the feature, whatever the app you are given, they will be testing that. So whether it is working as per my request or not. So they will validate before going to the production. So this will be the user environment, user accepted test. So before that, you will have kind of a one more environment called test. Okay, in this test environment, what they will do? They will do the this developer will do the test their changes. Okay. So whenever developer will work on the dev environment, he will create a business rule, suppose. So they will move that business rule to test environment, and in the test environment, developer validate whether my change, whatever the change I made, that is working or not. So developer will own this test and dev environments. Okay. Now let's assume this is the starting stage. Now, so in the real time you will have these many environments. So any whatever the change you are doing, whether it could be Power Automate flow creation, it could be Power App, model app creation, everything from here to it will go, it will follow this entire cycle. Okay. So now to move this cycle, what we need deployment, right? So that thing we will be doing that for the deployment purpose only. Whatever the changes we are doing, we are making, those we are keeping in, we will keep it in the solution. So basically, solution is nothing but a container where you will have your changes. It could be a Power Automate flow, it could be a model-driven app, it could be a business rule, it could be a JavaScript, everything. So in these solutions, you will create your own solution. You will have changes, everything in this solution. Now, this is dev environment, right? So in the dev environment, developer will do the changes. He will make it a file, solution file ready. Now, what will happen? They have to move these changes to the production. So first, what they will do in the dev environment, whatever the changes he made in the solution, if it is a manual solution, he will export. He will choose this. He will export solution, and he will get a zip file, right? So in the target environment, he will use the import option. Okay. So if you don't select anything, you get the import solution. So like this, here he will be using the export solution, import solution. This is manual process. So in the real time, how it works, if they have, if they suppose the project they want to have a continuous integration, continuous deployment. So whenever you make any change, they want to deploy it. So for that purpose, they will be using the Azure DevOps. Okay. So what will do, whatever you are doing manually, exporting solution dev, importing to test, exporting solution to dev, importing to UAT, exporting solution to from UAT, importing to production. Everything, right? In the manual deployment, you will be doing the manual. But in the whenever they are using Azure DevOps CICD, they will be using a pipeline. So today we will be learn about the deployment with Azure CICD pipeline. So what you mean by Azure? So basically, Azure is a service from the Microsoft. So this is kind of a, if you see here, so this is, will be the common Azure DevOps site. So how it will be like here, if you have, if you seen here, you will be having the dev.azure.com something, right? So this is the Azure DevOps site. So whenever they want to have a CI/CD pipeline, continuous integration, continuous development for their CRM projects, they will purchase this Azure DevOps license as well. And with the Azure DevOps license, what they will do, they will be creating the pipelines. They will be doing a lot of things. So now come to CRM to Azure DevOps. So in the Azure DevOps, we we not only do the deployments, we can do a lot of stuff. So if you see here, this is my project here, right? If you see, you have overview. What do you mean by overview means? So here you can see who has access, what are the tasks they are working. So suppose whatever the work we are doing for that assignments, I am giving in a Word document. So create table, create this, create and create everything. So but in general, no one will create that kind of Word document, right? So what client will do, they will create the work items. So work item means it will, here we will call it the epic issue task. There are hierarchy will be there. So epic will be very high level. I want a food order management app, like that they will be mentioning. So he here in that what they will do, he will mention like you need to create a food order management app that should support online ordering, that should track the delivery, like that they will give the high level info. After that, what you will do, within the epic they will be creating subtypes. So in the food ornament, how many tables you are expecting, what are the tables you need to create, like that they will split. Okay. Now if you come here, like I'm giving like food order management. I'm just saying this. Now within this, now if you see the link, here you have, this is the detail. So here I will give the very high level details. That should support epic level. What they will do, they will give the very high level of details, the nature of the task, simply we can say. So after this, what you have, this is epic, right? If you see here details you have in the history, you can see whoever created everything. So if someone modifies also, you can see like CRM audit history. What is the change? So if you see doing, so like this, doing means presently this work is doing. Done means completed. Like that they will create. Now if you click on this links, here you see create a new item. Now you are creating a child for it. So after epic, if you want to create task, so like create order table and fields. So whatever we are giving the info in the Word document, right? So client won't share that kind of Word documents. So what they will do, they will use this Azure DevOps and they will give access to this Azure DevOps. So from this Azure DevOps, you will be creating the all epics or task issues. Issues means if you have some bug in this item, you will be creating a issue. Basically, issue means some issue, right? So column in column. So suppose if I give something here. Now if you see bug has some different color, the issue has some different color, task has different color. So what does it mean? These are two different items. Epic has something else. So like this, what they will do, they will be using the Azure DevOps for creating the user stories, creating the task. So with the help of this thing, so they will be assigning this to some user. So it means this Epic is working by system administrator. If in general, you will have in the team, you will have multiple people, right? So by seeing the board, by seeing the task, they can identify like which item working by him. So three columns are missing. So like this, they can identify. Okay. Any questions still here? This is one, Srinivas.
No, Harish.
So now here, if you see here under boards, you have too many things. So work items means what are the work items you have and what is assigned, for whom it is assigned, and what is the current state. And the area path. In one project, you can have multiple area path. That's why they will have area path. And this is the active everything you would see. So what is the task, who is working on, what is the status, everything you could see it from the boards. Under, if you want to create any custom boards, here you can create. Okay, view as backlog. So if you see here, so this is kind of some kind of CRM dashboard, you can say. So here you can see, if you see in program set and computer so issues, instead of issues, if we select epic, only epics are coming. So this is something kind of a dashboard where client or the scrum master can see the work items. So scrum master means whoever is maintaining the project, whoever is giving the work to you, those we will call as a scrum master. Okay. Now if you see sprint, so what do you mean by sprint? So sprint means, so you are having some work, so they should define it right, by when you will complete. So in general, how it works in any software applications, they will, if they use Azure DevOps or Jira, some other tool, they will have sprint. So some people will have 15 days sprint. 15 days means 2 weeks. Some people have four weeks sprint, that is 1 month. So what will happen whenever they are working for one sprint, they will set that expectation like, I am giving two tasks to this user. They have to complete by the sprint end. So within 10 days, they have to complete. Otherwise, if I giving the 5 tasks for this user, from by the month end, they will be doing that work. So like that, they will define the sprint. Some people will follow 15 days, some people will follow 1 month. That is depending upon the sprint. So what we will do, they are creating the task, they are following sprint. What sprint means, they are doing work. So once work is done, what they will do, they have to deploy the changes. They need to move the dev to test, right? So for that purpose, what they will do, they will maintain the repository. So repository means like a place where you are storing your code. Suppose you are writing some plugin, you have to store it somewhere, right? Suppose if Ridwan is wrote a plugin, the code is in mission. Suddenly tomorrow he changed the company. So company won't rely on the users, right? Won't rely on the employees. So what they will do, they will create a repository, they will create a place for where code should be maintained, where changes should be maintained. That is nothing but a repository in the Azure DevOps. So here if you see LUTCM means you don't have anything. So if you see, you can create a repository, everything you can do. So for that purpose we see, so if it is an empty repository, what you do, you need to create a create it, right? So for that purpose, here you have all clone in Visual Studio Code, clone in Visual Studio, everything. So if you click on this Visual Studio will be open for me. So means in the local and from the it is connecting from Azure DevOps to local. Okay. So right now I haven't logged in, so I have to log in as well. You're not authorized because I don't have access. So what I will do, first I will sign in. I'm just this is the Asus account. So, so you can also create trial account for this other DevOps as well. Same CRM. Credit card details. Authentication enter this is the problem with the trial account section. I just call Asus to get to authenticate. Okay, now it is logged in. So what we are doing, we are just creating a Asus 48 again. Mm, mm. So like this first time whenever you're doing first time it will be asked like this you need to authenticate in same like all are Microsoft devices only, right? So they will be using the same authenticator. Now, so now what we are doing, we are just creating a repository. Why we are creating a repository? The repository will be used for storing our changes. Like you can store the plugin code, you can store the JavaScript, you can store the zip files of your CRM solutions. Because this will be used as a common place for everyone. Because the companies, the client won't rely on the single user. Suppose if you are working for some company, sometimes in some day you might be changing the company or you intentionally keep something, right? So to avoid that dependency, they will be using this Azure DevOps repository. Now if you see, so like this will be there. Now what we want to do, we want to create it, right? So I'm just doing it again. Just show you. Now when we are doing clone, here it will ask, where do you want to create? One second, I will just show you this. Copy. Clone a repository. Now, clone like this, you have to do the location. So if you see this space, you have the clone to computer with. You need to copy this. Put it here. Clone. Now if you see cloning, either from we don't have anything, but it still it will clone because if you have anything also, the cloning task you will be doing like this. Now what I will do, now I want to create a solution to have this. So for that purpose, what we will do, you see here, if you go to the here, if you see, you don't have any solution. So what I want to do, I want to create a new solution to maintain my changes. So for that purpose, you will be creating a some class level framework, something like okay. So you are selecting that and my LUT. Suppose it's Azure, this is project name is LUT. The same. So this is the place where code will be stored in the local. Create a new solution. Done. Framework tool is 4.7.1. Now once project is created, in that project, what I want to do, I want to store my plugin code. I want to store my JavaScript, right? So for that purpose, suppose if you see me, this is the normal namespace like a class label. This one you will be use it for plugins. The same plugin in the same solution, if you want to store the JavaScript, what you will be, you will be adding a one more project, new project. So that could be like some kind of a you have anything kind JavaScript, C sharp, you will be selecting JavaScript. So blank JavaScript project. So like -JS something. Or what some people will do, they will create a simple JavaScript no need not to be build anything, right? So they will create a simple placeholder folder instead of adding project. They will be creating new solution folder. Here they will be JavaScript. So that like that they will keep and in this JavaScript folder they will create a individual files, add file, new item, sorry, and show all templates. Here they will be selecting JavaScript. They will give some name account to JavaScript. So like this, they will be edit in the local. So whatever they are editing, it has to be present in the here, right? The DevOps. So for that purpose, what they will call, they will do the check-ins. Check-in means that whatever the code you are having in the solution explorer, this thing they will move to Azure DevOps. That we will call as a check-in. So how do they move? If you click on this edit symbol, if you see, you have configured like this, right? So here you will be doing so adding changes. So and so 1, 2, 3, 4 epic. So epic number I'm adding. So like that they will do. Now, now if we see here you have Azure DevOps. It is master, right? So here if we see in this repositories you have multiple branches, right? So in general, what will happen? The master branch will be like main branch, main or man. The every developer they will have their own branch. So for that purpose, I'm just creating like my branch, like user slash something based on master. Hmm, 1 second. Let me try to create a branch. Here, new branch. It is not connected. So usually we will create a branch, developer branch. For each developer, they will create one developer branch, and they will check in the changes. So whatever the solution they are adding JavaScript, plugins, C# code, everything, right? So they will be checking. So once they do checking, the code, everything available here in the repository. So repository basically will be used for to maintain the, now we got the branches. I'm just creating a new branch. Developer, developer. Let me, so now I want to get the changes, right? So for that purpose, what you will do, you have to click on this symbol. So fetch means this will get the changes from external. And if you see top arrow, this will push means it will push your changes to Azure DevOps. Fetch means get arrow means you are getting some from somewhere. Pushing means you are pushing to DevOps. So all these you have to learn, okay? So in the real time, we are saying you work on real time, right? So now if you see Argent developer one is coming. Now if you see, now we have this symbol sync push. So whenever you do, it will go like it will go your local changes to Azure DevOps. So now see that. So what I will do, see, we have some error issue permission, enable to process path. So we should have a proper in the real time. We will have the actual user, right? So you can do all the stuff. Now let me refer this. There's no, so I got something. Okay. So from this, you will be having the branches. So from the branches, whatever the change is making, right? So they will be raising a PR. PR means pull request. So from the developer one to, they will merge to main one. If we have some other developer too, they will also merge main. So main will be the actual resource where every one changes will be there. So like a multiple people working on single item, right? So in that scenario, what will happen? Suppose you are working some JS file. So let's assume this is, so So let's assume this is my main repo, main branch. So if you have four people in your team, four people working on the code, four people making on the changes, right? So what they will do, they will create a individual user branches. Okay. So this is one user branch, this is one user branch, this is one user. So what they will do, they will be creating their changes, making their changes, and they will be raising the PR, pull request. Okay. With pull request, what they will do, they will move their changes to main. So in the main, what will happen? You will have all changes, all four developers changes. So like this will be used. So pull request mainly used for move user changes to main branch, developer, individual developer changes. Okay. Any questions still here? Now the actual thing. Now you have pipelines. So to work to any CICD pipeline, you should have a proper repository, you should have a proper file, then only they will deploy, right? So in the pipeline, what they will do, they will be using repositories thing and they will be deploying the changes. Now if you see, if you click on the pipeline, create a pipeline. For creating pipeline itself, it will ask the repository on which repository you want to create. Now we have LUT one repository. So start pipeline, if you select this one now if you see, this is the pipeline script they will be creating for using CICD. So learning this is a separate task. So you can say like we have existing pipeline in our system. We are leveraging that for deployment. Now if you see, you have .NET Core, you have if you search for Power also, you have PowerShell, Azure, everything, right? So with help of these tools, you will be deploying your CRM changes. Now if you see right now, if you look for ideally, we will have the Power Platform task. So for the Power Platform task, what we will do, it will when we insert in the pipeline, it will fetch the solution, it will import the solution. Whatever you are doing manually, like export, import, right, shipping, everything we will be using Power Platform tools. And now I will just show it in the Google Power Platform task. Now if you see this image, you have this purple color, or what do you call this maroon color you have, right? So this kind of some symbols you will get, you will be using in this pipeline, you will be running the pipeline deployment. So like this, actually those are paid, right? That's why for this trial account we are need for to having that also you should have a license, everything. So now if you see this one, this kind of purple color you will have release, you will have that import task, you will have that deployment task, everything. Like this. Microsoft build to task. So if you see here, this is the YAML script. Now, if you see Power Platform installer, Power Platform export solution, Power Platform unpack solution, Power Platform tag solution, like this, every task will be there. So what they will be doing, they will be building the solution with the help of this YAML script, and they will be writing. So once the pipeline is ready, they will do the save and run. Save and run, they will choose the branch on which branch they want to run. So from that branch only, it will pick the complete solution or JS file, everything. It will be picking it from that only. Okay. So like this, we will be using the pipelines. So whenever you are preparing for interview, when they ask, you say like we did the manual deployment only to make it easy to make. if you say CICD complex, CICD pipeline deployment, they will ask lot of questions in the CICD pipeline. Have you created YAML pipeline or are you using task? They will ask you, you will be get cornered. So instead of that, what I suggest, tell them like we are using existing pipeline, but I am not much aware. We are doing manual deployment. Like that, you need to bypass it. Even if they are hitting, you have to defend, right? To you know the manual deployment, how you import managed solution, how you import unmanaged solution. So to make it easier for you, you say like we are following a manual deployment method. We don't have any pipelines. Okay, like that you need to make sure you are able to managing. Okay, so this is all about Azure DevOps and deploying CI/CD pipelines. Any questions, Rizwan, Srinu?
No, Harsha.
Tomorrow also we'll connect, we'll discuss on the resumes only. Today we are done with the CI/CD setup, this right? So
Yes,
tomorrow
yes.
we'll be discussing on the resumes. So please come with your resumes. We'll have we will review the projects and everything. If we have any changes, we will do that. Okay.
Sure, sure. And I have a small query like in our CRM development, like we are developing this one plugins and JavaScript, this one. So where we are going to deploy this and using the pipelines,
So that's
like deployment pipelines.
for every whatever the component you are creating, you will be adding to the solution only, right?
Yes.
For the plugin also you will be have component. What is that component? If you look for here, add existing or create new. Suppose if you see automation table, others, if here you will have a plugin as well. So whatever the plugin you are creating, plugin will appear here. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Awesome. AI plugin. These are different component like one second. Connection reference developer. In the developer, you have custom control, plugin assembly, plugin step, service, and everything. So if you're creating a plugin assembly means you will add the plugin assembly to the solution. In the solution, you will be using this tool only. You have export solution, import solution, right? Task.
Yes.
So whatever the change you are doing, you will be doing through solution only. So JavaScript also you will be adding to the solution. If it is a plugin, you will add everything, Power Automate flow, everything. So that's why from the beginning of the session, we are using solution only. How to create from solution, how to add existing, like that. Okay.
Yes, like environment deployment pipeline, this one only.
That's fun. Now you will be creating this pipeline. So
Yes.
this pipeline only you will be, you have this task, right? What is the Power Platform? Suppose if we have import solution, in the import it will ask for which environment I need to deploy. So like that they will create the different pipelines for deploying. Suppose for the test to deploy the test pipeline, they will have the some pipeline. So to deploy the production pipeline, they will have the another pipeline where it is pointing to the production. For test, it will point to the test. For the production, it will point to the production environment. Okay. For each task, we see category request status, environment. Environment, we will define it. Target environment URL. So where do you want to deploy this task? Like that, you will be giving all info. It's not simply here if you have import task, import solution mean it will give the, it will ask all details. What is the target environment? What is the connection it need to use to deploy? On whom name it has to deploy? And what do want to make any changes? Versioning? Do want to make do kind of cloning a batch, clone a solution, everything. So with these are the tasks. Okay, but right now if you see, we are not getting this because we are not a the premium user, right? So if you look for Power Platform with your official accounts, we will get this. Okay. So this is the, so like this they will be managing from moving one environment to another environment. Okay. Any questions? So please be prepared. You in the December we have openings. Make use of it. Okay.
Thank you, Harshit.